You're on candid camera.
It's not that candid.
Oh.
So we're growing shiitake mushrooms here, and I think these logs are about 4 or 5 years old. And I actually inoculated logs for my first time last night, and it's a really simple process for a really awesome result that lasts a long time. So basically, like fungi and mushrooms are everywhere. Like we're standing on them right now. If we look in these wood chips, like right here, you see all that white?
That's fungi.
These are wine cap mycelium, which right here, this is it's like the internet of mushrooms. They know you're walking on it right now. Every step you take correlates to an electron transfer in that network of mycelium, so it's totally sentient.
Wow. Sentient mushrooms.
And mushrooms basically, they connect and interact with all plant root systems, transporting nutrients, becoming like hybrid, like plant cell, mycorrhizal structures that usually benefit the plant and are essential to plant growth. These logs are for gourmet mushroom cultivation, and it's just a kit that you can get from a couple mycology companies. And so all these holes that have the wax on them are from, so the process is you drill a log, which I think these have been drilled.
Here, see the holes?
They have, anyway,
The bottom ones have.
yeah, so they're little drill marks right there. You drill the log, and in your mushroom growing kit, you'll get little plugs, which are like compressed sawdust, and you just let them sit once you get them like in the mail in your package. And they've been inoculated with a spore of a specific mushroom variety, so shiitake, reishi, maitake, portobello, oyster mushrooms, whatever you order. And it'll colonize these little plugs, which look like little dowels. They have spirals on them. And you can see white fibers that have totally colonized and, taken over your bag of like these little wooden dowels. And so once they colonize those dowels, you drill a hole in freshly cut hardwoods, and preferably the woods are cut in spring when the sap starts to run, so that the glucose concentration is higher. The content is higher in the logs, so there's more food for the fungus. And so you put the plugs into the holes that you drill. You do it in this kind of checkerboard pattern, and then you seal it with wax, which prevents any native fungi from kind of taking over that colony, which you want to be a pure strain of your own mushrooms, the shiitakes. And so you seal it, and it'll take about 9 months to colonize the log, at which point you'll start to see like the fibers of the mycelium coming out the side here. And to fruit them, you soak the logs in water for a couple hours, and you can kind of bang them, and it kind of shocks them and gives them the signal to start setting out these fruiting bodies from that network of mycelium.
Oh, wow.
And then you have mushrooms, and they last between 12 and 15 years after one inoculation.
After one dipping.
After one time
Drilling of the
doing the
holes,
plugs.
Doing the plugs. And
One
then
log will fruit. You'll probably get like 50 pounds of mushrooms for like 3 logs or something.
Wow.
And it'll peak at like 6 years and then like slowly start to go down, but it's like
So
it's
almost
$40 for a kit, and
amazing,
mushrooms are expensive.
the
and
shiitake mushrooms
they're
are
amazing
really
for the garden.
expensive.
They start to travel if you have wood chips or some type of carbon medium for the mycelia to go out and into the garden and kind of keep pushing nutrients along and collecting them and bringing them to plants. Then it's just win-win.
Wow. So everybody could, in a sense, every sort of suburban homeowner could
So
do this
the
in the
only
corner of
maintenance
their
is
property.
Doing the initial inoculation, watering them if you go through a dry spell, just so the logs don't crack. You leave them out during winter, the mycelia go dormant like they do in a forest floor. and you fruit them when they're colonized. And
So
you
are
get
any of
mushrooms.
these ready to pick? These mushrooms that we're looking at?
Yeah, these are ready to pick.
They
There's
are?
some in here too.
They've just been fruited yesterday, so this is a day's growth.
What?
1 day's
Wow.
growth. Fruited mean that you picked them all. You picked
no,
you
meaning
harvested
that
the mushrooms?
we dunked the log
Oh, you dunked the logs.
and came out.
Wow. How
Oh,
often
wow.
can you
1 day's
can you
growth.
harvest?
I think you can only fruit the logs once a year, and then it's that 9-month cycle. But like
That's
we-
1 day.
originally we just had one stack, so we just added I don't know, there are probably 12 more logs here, 10 more logs. So there's more mushrooms. That whole stack over there with the shade cloth, I think is
Oh.
a different variety.
Okay.
Oh,
But
Wow.
great.
that'll just keep going.
Very fascinating
So for
stuff.
6
And
years,
this
it
is-
highly produces.
Yeah, definitely. 10 years. It'll,
They're
Well,
expensive.
you said it peaks at 6, so.
yeah, well, it'll start going to its peak and then
Oh, okay.
bell curve-ish.
And
Still,
mushrooms are thought to have a lot of anti-cancer properties
Yeah.
and very helpful.
And you can grow super medicinal mushrooms. You could grow mushrooms for whatever your taste is. And this is a different kind of setup right here, which uses a sawdust spawn. So it's kind of spreading it. Yeah, it's fine.
The sentient
It's just
mushroom.
reading your mind.
Nah.
Right now.
Now, this one's been plugged.
Yep, that's been plugged. It
But
doesn't
no
look like
wax.
it's been sealed. So they may just be old logs. That
Oh,
are,
it actually still has the nail in it, doesn't it?
or maybe, see, I haven't done this before. What might be going on, and there's a little wine cap coming up,
Oh, wow.
wow.
is that
Who knew, huh?
maybe these aren't sealed so that the mycelium can carry out.
Oh.
Because sealing
Into the
them
wood
kind of
chips
like
like you just
concentrates
said.
it into the log. So it's kind of spreading out into here, and then wine caps will supposedly come up through this.
Now
wood
this
chip.
is kind of stupid, but how the mycelium? What is that, and how would it? I understand you're plugging the hole so it wouldn't grow here.